Yeah, that's true. Okay, so but let me add this part and we'll just spend 10, 15 minutes on this. Are there negatives? Because over the last, I would say, week or 2 weeks, there have been a lot of stories and things that came out from the chick that was a trophy wife to now Lisa Ray saying what she's saying to other people. And it's a lot of different things or whatever, so on and so forth. But
Oh, the
a lot of
privilege.
people are talking about the difficulty of talking to men in power or rich men or men that have resources and all of that type of stuff. What are the negatives or what are the perceived negatives of talking to a guy that is resourceful?
Nothing.
You said what are the
Of talking
negatives of
to a
talking
guy
to a
who's what?
Resourceful.
yeah, we
Have
can't hear you. You're
money,
muted.
power, whatever. Because again, a lot of people are coming out saying that, hey, it's a lot to deal with a guy that may have resources or maybe he busy or whatever. Are there any negatives to dealing with a guy that's resourceful? Mika said there are none. Don't let the cat get your tongue,
No, you're
Carrie.
you're you're absolutely right. I'm not used to fat wet. No, I am not. That's fucking
Well, and
gross.
and Carrie, I'm not necessarily speaking about your or mine or anybody's. I'm saying in general, what are the perceived or what could possibly be any negatives? We're not gonna make it personal unless y'all just want to make it personal. But what are the perceived negatives, even when it comes to some of the stuff that y'all see happening online, of talking to a man that may be resourceful?
I think one of the perceived negatives is that you're gonna have to cater to him, to how he moves. So if he moves, he might be into women, he might be into he might be into gambling, he might be into having you look a certain way, he might be into like whatever his things are that help to keep him being that guy. I think the perceived negative is that you have to accept that and roll along with it.
Why is
That's
that?
a
Why
pretty
would you
good
say
one.
that's negative?
I said perceived negative. Some women, one, that might not be the case.
I
So
know.
again,
That's what I was
perception.
asking. You
But
said what?
two, if it is the case, some women, they're okay with that. That's the trade-off. So they might not view it as a negative, whereas other women may. Like, I have interacted with a lot of the wives of very prominent men. And while they don't come out and say that they are, unhappy, miserable, or whatever, you can tell that if they're, especially the ones who are not the most visually attractive, you can tell that they play their part in a way that seems to cater more to his needs and his desires and his happiness than hers. Like you can kind of tell.
See, that's the problem because they're separating it. Because you should be you should be with the man that when you are doing that stuff, that makes you happy to do it. If you separate it, yeah, you're going to be miserable because you don't want to do it. I don't like doing stuff I don't like doing.
I hear you, and for you that
I'm
might
saying
be the
to your
case, and
point,
and I
not
mean,
you, but to your
ideally,
point.
I would agree with you, but I
Yeah.
think that some women, um, that might not be the case, and
What
uh,
you mean?
Mika, I would think that for you, your husband, not your husband, like if you were married.
She'd sit in the pocket and get cheated on.
In other words,
Sure.
I don't
If
think
a
I
nigga
don't
has some
think that
money,
you would be
nigga.
shelved. I don't think
Nah,
that you would
nigga.
be shelved,
Mika
right?
got nah, nigga. Mika
some
got a
of the
price, nigga.
some of the men that I'm just thinking of, and these are, older guys too, but some of the men that I'm thinking of and the women that they have as wives, you wouldn't call them a trophy wife. So I could
I
see
get what
where
you're
Trophy,
your
saying.
cake
perspective might
trophy.
be a little different too, and that might be a factor. Like, is the
I get what
woman
you're saying.
visually attractive? That might play a part.
I get what you're saying. Maybe it's because, and I understand what you're saying. Like, if you're not, if you deem yourself not as physically attractive and you have a man that's maybe highly visible or has a lot of resources and can move the way he wants to move, he has what other options, and you can't really do anything about it. Is that kind of like what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, they could, but
Or
I'm sure
even if they have
that's
other
when.
options, you don't feel as seen as the options.
Well, or to your point, that's when you might trick yourself and say, okay, maybe it would be nice if he took me, if he brought me with him and he's not, but it's okay because I have this lifestyle, we have our kids, he takes care of me, so it's okay. So that's what I'm saying. Um, it's tricky because I haven't heard them complain, but you can see it. You can see it. So
Yeah,
Is
I
there any
mean,
other drawbacks? Go
I
ahead,
just
Mika. What
think
was you about
over
to
the
say?
top, like nigga, like I can go buy another you, nigga. So you better act right. Bottom motherfucking line. I can get a
Mm,
younger you. I can get a younger you with bigger butt, fatter, fucking everything, bigger titties, and she gives some
I would
scully
say
better
go
than you.
ahead. I would
No, you
say go
would.
ahead.
You stay in pocket.
I
I
don't
would
think
say go ahead.
that guys that have resources
I
think
didn't
like
say I
that.
was
Most
leaving.
of
I
them.
just said I said go ahead.
I don't think that guys that have resources think like that. They don't necessarily think like, oh man, I can get a younger you or something like that. Um, I don't know. I don't think they think like that. I think that they just like regular people. They care about their kids. And obviously, I'm not talking about people that's doing something nefarious or negative or something. But they just like
Hmm.
regular people. They genuinely care about their kids, and they want the same thing that other people want. They just got more access and more temptation.
well, and the key word you said perceived negative. So
No, no, no. I agree.
again,
Yeah, right, right,
some
right.
and no, chat, I did not say that if you're attractive, you won't get cheated on, but I was speaking specifically to what Mika was talking about.
Yeah, I
Clearly, you
understood
could
what
be
you're saying.
attractive and get cheated on.
Yeah, what you're
Lisa
saying,
Ray.
but chat, what she's speaking to is that as a woman, you might be a lot more insecure if you don't deem yourself as attractive. Is that, was that right, Carrie?
I don't understand why
I'm s-
guys in the chat is saying, "No, Anton, I talk to him." Like most of my friends is that. Like I got friends that's in the NBA, I got friends that's in business, I got friends and all of that. Like most of them, and you can't say anybody is a monolith, so I'm not gonna say all of anything, but most of them have families. Most of them, you know, look to do the right thing. Most of them is not trying to get caught up in no nonsense. Most of them is trying to protect their children. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course you're gonna get the young, fast dude that don't give a fuck about nothing, or he a crash dummy or whatever, and he got money and he ain't used to having nothing or something. But most people care. Now, what they get caught up in or where they talent take them that they character can't keep them is one thing, but most people actually care about their well being. That's my experience of dealing with, of having friends that's in that space. So, and like I said, and then nobody is a monolith. I don't think that, to speak specifically to this question, um, most people, I don't think that most women, because everybody want the same men, right? I seen a woman on, somebody sent me a video from TikTok, and a woman said all the women in Atlanta is recycling the same six guys. They said all of the women in Atlanta is recycling, and I think she was speaking figuratively, but I mean, I would imagine that there's some truth to it. That every woman in Atlanta is recycling the same six guys, the same six resourceful, super resourceful guys, right? And I don't think that most women that are chasing, because all of the women want the same men, but for some reason they don't think that it's a small minority of men that's at that level as far as the resourcefulness. And I don't think that they know what comes with that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to talk about. So a lot of women too, outside of what I stated about, if if it does if it doesn't make you happy, you're going to be miserable. But a lot of women also don't really look at it from that angle. And they're not raised to be wives or raised to deal with that type of lifestyle or never seen that type of lifestyle. They're only looking at one part of it. And then when they get the rest of it, now it's a problem. So now they're miserable from that. So
I
it's
don't.
kind
I'm
of
gonna do
like
you one better though, Mika. It's
it's
one
kind
thing
of
to
like
be
your level.
well. It's one thing to be raised to be a wife. It's another thing to be raised to be a wife of a rich man.
Yeah, that's why I said the second thing about they've never seen those type of guys. Just like the women that we talk about that, never seen, a man lead. They get into these relationships and actually ruin relationships because they never seen leadership. So I think it would be the same as they've never seen any high value male or never dealt with a high value male, and maybe they just lucked up and got with a guy that makes a lot of money, is very resourceful, whatever. But now they see all that comes with it, and they've never seen that before. And now it's just like, oh no, I don't like this.
I think that most women would be happier if they could get if they can cut off Instagram, if they could stop looking at and seeing what everything else is going on or what they think is going on. I think most women would be happier with a normal guy. I
When
think
you
that
say
all
normal,
women like a normal guy, he goes to work, he works somewhere between 40 and 45, 46 hours a week, and he's home on the weekends, and he don't do a whole lot of traveling. Maybe y'all can plan for a vacation once a year. He get regular PTO time. He got a regular, normal, everyday life. And you may go to work and y'all go. When y'all both get off of work, y'all get the kids together, and then y'all might spend date night once a month or something like that. A normal, just a regular, normal, everyday life. I think that most women will find themselves to be happier than to trying to meet the expectations of what it takes to live or be with a guy that's really, really resourceful. Most women are not built to be with a guy that's resourceful. They think that they
and
are.
what?
Yeah, because
They think they want it. I don't think that they prepare for that.
Go ahead, Carrie.
no, I was gonna say, yeah, because even if he's not, even if he's not doing anything, just the attention that he'll get from women alone, I think
Yep,
a lot of women probably underestimate how that would impact them, which goes back to what you were saying, Mika. If you as the woman are not in a good space, if you're not confident, if you're not feeling yourself, then that's gonna be even harder to deal with. So I agree. I think that a lot of people have gotten caught up in the whole high value man conversation and seeing stuff online and seeing the money in front of them, houses, cars, trips, blah, 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 not
Your
realizing
expensive mouth
all that
making
goes
noise.
with it or could go with that. Just the time alone, like again, the man doesn't have to be doing anything bad. A successful man like that takes a lot of time. So chances are they might be in a mansion, but they there by themselves or with the
Well,
kids.
yeah,
You know what
and
I'm saying?
that's
Like
the
certain
that
things
and
like that, women are not considering.
that's what I mean, right? Because even guys that were corporate, right? Let's say he's a corporate attorney, something like that. They tend to work long hours, right? So,
I
like,
agree.
can you deal with that? And
I agree.
and like I said, it really boils down to back like how you grew up.
Yep,
Like,
I agree.
what are you used to?
Yep. It take a lot of time when you climbing that corporate ladder. It's a lot of time that you got to dedicate. And he might not be home like when you want him to
Hmm.
be, and he don't work normal hours, and so there's
Hmm.
something that come with that. But the guy that delivers the mail carrier, they don't know, like they don't really, they act like they don't want that guy, but that guy will probably be better for them.
The mail carriers be cheap. My
And
uncle
they
worked for
still in the
FedEx.
mail.
My uncle worked for FedEx, and he said how he be getting propositioned on his routes.
Okay,
From the
well, maybe not the
lonely
mail
wives,
carrier. The
from the lonely
electrician.
wives that's in the mansion by themselves.
The electrician at the plant or something. I don't know, Quinn.
See?
Some regular job.
Now, see, this is why I say Quinn is always wrong. He just tried to tell us 3 weeks ago that flight attendants were not problematic for being promiscuous, and nurses. Now you just gonna say the mailman out of nowhere, like just because your uncle
Okay,
said it?
and this you say I'm always wrong. This is where you don't listen. I didn't say they were promiscuous. I said they were propositioned. I didn't say they took that shit. The onus is on the niggas that live there, not the niggas delivering the mail. Nigga, listen. You tried it though, my nigga. You tried it.
Oh, y'all wouldn't marry the mailman? What's wrong with the mailman?
There's nothing wrong with the mailman.
Jesus Christ, Nick can't even deliver
This
the
dude
mail in
blatantly
peace?
said mailmen be cheating too.